Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. Let's make my chair higher, man. Let's make it higher. Make it higher, make it higher, make it higher. Haha, there we go. That's a lot better. Oh, let's turn that off. Turn it off. All right, let's see. What's with this echo sound here? Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome, welcome. Oh, hold. I know what's going on. Hold on. Hold on. Let's try it. All right, that's a little better. I think. Let's try. How is everyone doing tonight? Welcome, welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H, some people call me Havis, some people call me Terrence, some people call me Mr. Bardui, some people call me Little Boy. If you're from the 767 Whitey Cooley, the Commonwealth of Dominica, you call me Little Boy. If you're from Point Michelle, aka La Pointe, St. Luke's Parish, you call me Luke Boy. Dominica made me, Boston raised me, now the South sustains me. How are you doing this evening? I have a great show for you. The title is Applied Knowledge is Power. Applied knowledge, not just knowledge, applied knowledge. Hope everyone's doing well. Let me just check on my phone to see. Let's see. Check on my phone to make sure that everything is working fine here. For those of you who are tuning in, welcome to the show. If you say hello, I'll be able to give you a shout out. If you don't say hello, I will not do that. All right. So I try to give a shout out to those who are on, who come on and say hello. Let me just take a quick look here and go to the comments section and say hello to all. Hello to all. Put that in there. Today, I have a little testimony to give. So I hope that works fine. Let me make sure that all my platforms are working fine for now, and we should be able to go from there. What I'm trying to do is to make sure we get this in. I'm trying in a very special way to just make sure everybody can see me. I hope everyone can see me on here. I'm going to try to pull up the make sure I am on all the platforms here. I'm checking real quickly just to make sure on Bardui Financial Services that it's working. It looks like it's working. Yeah, it looked like it's working. I hope everyone's doing well. Welcome again to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. I got the Kamem, see the Kamem shirt, the Kamem hat. Yeah, tonight we're gonna just talk about applied. You know, if we talk about knowledge is power and wisdom is force, applied knowledge is power. Let's take a look and see what happened in markets today. Let's take a quick look and see what happened in markets today. I don't know. Let's see. Everything was down. The Dow Jones was down 45.87. The Nasdaq was down 579 points, and the S&P down 107. So everybody, like they say in the South, everybody lost money. Everybody in their 401k lost money, and it's just one of those things where it's part of the dealio. I cannot make anybody make decisions, but what I try to do, I try to educate, and that's why we're going to talk about applied knowledge is power, not just knowledge, because too many people think knowledge is power. If you never apply it, how is it good to you? So as we start, I want to play our theme song and get the show on the road. Now, if you don't say hello to me, I will not be able to acknowledge you. But if you say hello, I will be able to give you a shout out. So let's get our music keyed up and start it going.
Battery medium. Connected to Virus
Yeah, there we
Alexander.
go. There
Then
we go.
iPhone 4.
iPhone 4. Okay, I know what it is. iPhone 4. That means somebody else's phone is connected to this, and that's what's going on. So let me see right now. Let me blast it on the music. Get the theme song kick in, and we can move from there. All right, let's try it. Yes. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Dominica made me. That's where it all began. Island breeze, coconut trees, the heart of my plan. From the hills and the smiles to the songs of the sea, that island spirit molded the person I'd be. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. On those snowy streets, learn to stand tall, navigating life, every rise, every fall. From the commons to the brownstones, I made my claim. With every lesson learned, I embraced my name. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. Now the South sustains me with its warm embrace, a community of strength and love in every space. From the bayous to the beaches, I found my place. In this journey of finance, I've learned to chase grace. Dominica made me, Boston raised me high. The South sustains my soul as I reach for the sky. With every sunrise, I'm thankful and free. A licensed financial pro, just being me. So here's to the roots that shaped who I am. From Dominica's beauty to Boston's Grand Slam. In the South I stand strong with purpose and pride. Together with my journey. Together with my journey. Side by side. That's what happens sometimes. We're not going to play it again. That's what happens sometimes when you mess up the phone. So how are you beautiful people doing? Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. Some people call me Little Boy. If you're from the 767, Whitey Kubuli, the Commonwealth of Dominica, tall is her body. You call me Look, boy, Dominica made me, Boston raised me, now the South sustains me. How are you beautiful people doing tonight? Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're having a great week. This past weekend we had it was a long weekend for federal employees. I think the stock market and banks were closed. We had Juneteenth on Friday, Juneteenth, and which a lot of people look at the really Emancipation Proclamation, you know, for African Americans here. I know in Texas it's a big holiday there. However, Texas was the state that people did not know they were free. So that was good. My church had a huge program. We did that, and we had, the mayor of our city came through of where our church is at. You had some NAACP Some members came through, president of the school board, the chairman of the school board came through, and little families came through. About 90 something people came through, and basically our objective, I believe, is to contact some of these people and see how they're doing, how they enjoy the program, and maybe probably invite them to church. Ministry is about helping people where they are, but also telling them about the love of Christ. And it doesn't mean, I think sometimes people think that people who are not part of their religion don't know about the love of Christ. So that's not the point. We want to share with people, invite them to church, come through sometime. They don't have to become a member, but if they come and they see what we're doing, they might like it and they may want to become a member. So we also went to the laundromat and we gave out some coins. That was kind of cool. We did that as well. And then we also went to the, what you would call it, the gas station. We gave gas cards out to people, and it was kind of fun. It was kind of fun. We did that, and people enjoyed it. It was cool. It was fun. It was nice, and we had a good camaraderie, good fellowship. I had a great time at our Juneteenth, and then Sunday was Father's Day. You know, big shout out to all the fathers. This past Sunday was Father's Day. It's so funny. I saw some posts where some people make comments, and every year you see it. I'm not even gonna address it because it's like it's Father's Day. What I mean, Mother's Day is Mother's Day, Father's Day is Father's Day. I'm not gonna go and give it any legs at all. So I hope you had a good weekend, a good Father's Day for those who are fathers, and a good weekend. And the week has started. It's been raining. It rained yesterday. It rained today. I don't know. It was warm today. It was in the 80s. I went walking. I went walking twice. I went walking this morning and I went walking this evening. Sometimes you need a walk, clear your head. You know, um, it's a great stress reliever for me. When I walk, I get to think. I get to make posts. I get to talk on the phone. I get to do a lot of different things, but walking is great therapy for me. So I enjoy that. So I did that this morning, and this afternoon I had my umbrella. I didn't get wet. So I'm glad for that. And another good note as well, I had asked someone to text me. The person I met, I had gone up the street and I had to run to the bank real quick. And I met a young lady who works there, and she happens to be from the Caribbean as well. And we talked for briefly. She's from one of the islands where my best friend, I had two best friends. One of them passed where he was from. And we talked about that for a little bit. And they said my name perfectly like a West Indian. I was like, what? And then, they asked me, how do I say it? I showed them my card. And when I was leaving, one of the great things about what I do is I always try to recruit people to do what I do. I do try. However, it's more of a passive recruitment. I'm not aggressively out there, wanting people to do this, although I want them to, because one thing I hate is trying to get people to do something that I do, and then I want it more than they want it. That's a key. There's nothing that someone wants to do. If you introduce them to, you cannot want it more for them than they want it for themselves. So she had mentioned to me that she's working on a PhD. Um, you know, I think she and her husband live very close by, she says. But she asked me about what I do. And I said, you know what? Text me your information. I'll be more than happy to put you in one of our recruiting calls. So that turned out pretty good. I haven't heard from them yet. They just got off work. Hopefully they'll text me another day. We'll get them on there. But it's always good, as a testimony to tell people what I do and why I do it and how I can help families. So tonight I have a great show. For we're going to talk about applied knowledge is power. Applied knowledge, and I've talked about that before. Good evening, Beth Amato, Cabo Verde. Beth Amato, oh, how are you, Cabo Verde, man? I watched some of the match. Was it yesterday or the day before? They're doing good in the World Cup. They haven't lost. They have two ties, and you should be very, very proud of your country. I people, my friends who are Haitians, and um, I know people who are from Panama. I have a client from Panama. I have a colleague from Panama. I have friends from Ghana. I have family in England, family in Canada, obviously family in the US. I've been to Curacao, so those seeing those countries, in the World Cup, that should be very good. But I know Beth is very, very excited. As a matter of fact, Beth, let me tell you, I went to high school with some Cape Verdeans. Our soccer team had Cape Verdeans and Haitians too, people from Haiti. Um, I don't know if we had anyone from Panama on our team, but we had Haitians and Cape Verdeans, and actually they were the best players on our team. And both of those countries are being represented in the World Cup. Um, Haiti lost, I think, 1-0 to Scotland and 3-0 to Brazil. And you guys tied Spain, and who did you play the other day? I forgot who it was. Uruguay, and you tied them, whoever it was. So bravo, Cabo Verde. All the Cape Verdeans should be proud. As a matter of fact, I think they're going to be playing in Miami. Maybe your husband be going down there this week. I don't know, but man, if my country was in the World Cup, I would be going bonkers. So you guys, congratulations, congratulations. Sunday, yeah. Congratulations to Cabo Verde. All the Cape Verdeans should be proud. I have a friend from Massachusetts who's Cape Verdean who went to the game in Atlanta. Um, and she posted a lot of stuff on TikTok. She was very, very proud. And like I said, some of the guys I went to high school with who we were on the soccer team together, I know they're proud. People like Lucindo and Luciano Fidalgo. And I had a former colleague who's a client, Liliana Fidalgo, who's Cape Verdean, Rose Barros, who's Cape Verde, Moises and Emily. Well, they were born here, but their parents are Cape Verdean. So technically, they're Cape Verdean. All right. So good job. Good job. I am very, very proud. Um, I haven't watched a lot of the matches, but I know I watched some of it. And it's going well for some nations. Even like today, I was texting a friend of mine who's from Ghana. Their team today draw a 0-0, a nil-nil draw with Great Britain, and England is one of the favorites. England, Spain, Portugal, France, Argentina. Those are the countries. And Beth, I'm going to tell you something. One of the guys that I went to high school with, who were on the soccer team, he think like Cabo Verde's not getting the calls they're supposed to get because he said FIFA want the big countries to win. They don't want the little countries to win. I'm like, why? Why? If I qualify for the tournament and I'm in there, you should be refereed fairly. You're not going to referee it because let's move over to this side. You're not going to referee it because you don't want me to win. No, 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 no. Everybody's playing. Everybody's trying to win. Let's get it in. Let's get it in. So if you're Cape Verdean, bravo. Haiti qualified, bravo. Curacao, bravo. Panama, a lot of the African countries, yeah. You know, I always pull for a couple of major powers. France is one. Me having a French name. I like England as well, Germany, and the USA. The USA is doing really, really good. They haven't lost a game yet. I think they played Turkey this week, and they've already won their stage, their group stage. So the US, can you imagine if they go far? Uh, I don't know. If the US go far, and they've done good so far. If they go farther, and if they get to a place where, can you imagine the US in the World Cup championship? Man, I don't know. That would be huge here for football, aka soccer. But I wish all the teams that's left in the tournament very well. I wish them the best. But only, like we said, certain teams are gonna be there. The African teams are doing well. The small nations are doing well. You know, we have Panama from Central America. You got Canada, Mexico, USA from this region as well, including Panama. So that's good. So all I can say is congratulations. I'm really excited for Cabo Verde. Nora, how you doing? Uh, Nora, good evening. I don't think Kenya. I think you're from Kenya. I don't think Kenya qualified for World Cup this year, did they? But I know Ghana just played a match and they just tied with Great Britain. Senegal is in it. Ivory Coast, Morocco, Egypt. A lot of African countries. So if you're not into football or soccer, you know, this is what I've always said. You don't have to play a sport to be into it. Sports as a child, that was our pastime. As a little boy, I remember on Sunday afternoons, everybody would go for a bath in the sea or in the morning, or and then later you press your clothes, you got your nice white t-shirt or dressed up, the girls got their hair done, and everybody goes to the park for a football match. It was the bomb in the village. In my little village, I supported what they call Coats. My brother played for Ghetto, and it was fun, man. Those are the good old days. So you would eat some, like with the coconut drops. The Jamaicans call it drops. We call it tablet. And you would eat the coconut cheese and the guava cheese and the ice cream and all the good stuff. Those my childhood years. I keep telling people I would never trade that in. I don't care what anybody says. The first 12 years of my life in the Caribbean was the bomb. I enjoy that. So right now, as we watching the World Cup, it is. Hey, no problem that you're late, man. Nora, you support the program, and that's all I care about. And like I tell people, like sometimes people think they got to sit there for the whole hour. Sometimes you don't have the time, and I understand. But just checking in, showing support, like even on social media, it's kind of funny. People will watch some of the stuff that you post, and they will not like it. It's okay. I don't get mad at it. But then I look at celebrity posts or people who have millions of followers. They'll put crap on, and those people will like it because people, everyone's liking it, and they think they're so cool. Because I'm like, come on, you all sharing stuff for people you all don't even know, and the people that you all know, you don't share their stuff. But it's all good. When I first started this, I used to get upset, but right now, no, man, I'm gonna continue doing what I do. Those who feel compelled to watch, they watch. Those who don't want to watch, don't want to watch. Those who want to watch on the rebound, I usually share it with some people, and they can watch it. I know one thing: they don't watch, but they're usually in your DMs asking for support. And I look at them like funny. I'm so petty that I go back and see if you ever like anything I post. Never like anything I post. Don't ask me for jack. That's how we roll in 2026. So tonight, I want to welcome everyone to Tuesdays with Terrence. Thank you for watching. I'm really excited about the show tonight. Applied knowledge is power. So let me ask. I've made this statement before, and I've asked this question, and I want to do it again. I just want to say, if you had if you have the cure for cancer, and it's so funny, a friend of mine always send me crap. I send them my Tuesdays with Terrence. They tell me they don't have time for that. And, we crack with each other back and forth. That doesn't bother me, man. But let me get back to what I was saying. If, for example, you have the cure for cancer, right? For example, you got the cure for cancer. And, you got the patent, the cure. I'm talking about guaranteed. Not it could work, it may work. When you go to the doctor, they give you medications. They give you like two or four, like this friend of mine was sick and they gave him the steroids, didn't work. They gave him another one, it didn't work. And the third one's kind of working. Like they experiment with you like a guinea pig. But let's say you had the patent for cure. You had the cure for cancer. I like to use cancer because everybody, it seems, is getting cancer one way or another, right? And you had a bona fide cure for prostate cancer, breast cancer, colon cancer, throat cancer, skin cancer, all kind of brain cancer, all tongue cancer, all kind of cancers. You had the cure. Now, That's knowledge. Having the cure, you have the knowledge. You've done all the research. You used I don't know. I know with science they use guinea pigs and mice and different things, and even humans sometimes. You ever see like they put out um, a a drug for anything? It could be for a plethora of things, and then they tell you what the side effects are. When you hear the side effects, you're like, man, there's a possibility I can get all of that stuff, all of that, and it may or may not work, but people still do it, right? But we're not talking about those situations where it might work. We're talking about you have the bona fide cure for cancer, but you put it in a vault somewhere, a safe, and you never ever share it with the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA here in the United States, science, the governing bodies around the state the country that you live in, or around the world. You're in academia, you never, or in medical schools and stuff, you never ever shared the cause. Let me ask you this question: is it knowledge? Yes, you have the knowledge, but you haven't applied. You have it in a safe or a vault. Like some people have stuff under the blankets, I'm not blankets, under their mattress, in a safe deposit box. And it's kind of funny. When they say bad news travels fast, let something happens to somebody, everybody knows, on the internet, at church, at work, at school, at play, friendships. Excuse me, everybody knows. Well, with good news, sometimes it's suppressed. So applied knowledge is power. In other words, you take that knowledge that you have and you bring it out to the appropriate administrations or representatives or agencies. Let them do their search, their research, their testing, and boom, it comes to market. That knowledge now becomes applied knowledge because you're applying it to help families, communities, countries, states, municipalities. Most people don't see that. Most people think, well, man, I got the power, I got the knowledge. Have you ever heard that saying? Have you ever seen an educated fool? They got all this education, but I know some, you know, I know some. It's like I've noticed the people who are in academia who are brilliant don't have to tell you that they are. So if you have the cure for cancer, you want to share it. You want to save your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your friends, your cousin. You probably even want to save people you can't stand. People that you can't stand. Is there anybody that you can't stand, or people who give you, uh, headaches, stress, different things? If you had the cure for cancer, a bona fide cure, and they had cancer, would you share it with them? I would. I would. I would. And the reason why I would is because, what good is going to do me to watch you suffer? So basically, earlier that I said, well, people don't, who know you, they don't give you the support that you want to do. And that shouldn't bother you. But what's key here is that the knowledge that I spew or give out, where I pontificate weekly, that information I share it because I care. But I'm not just giving you information and then you just don't do nothing with it. I was having a conversation with someone today. We were talking about procrastination. I'm the king of it. I'm the king of procrastination. But you know what, though? I acknowledge it. I acknowledge it. So, what I'm saying here is simply this, folks. If you have the cure, you want to share it with everybody. Like they say in the South, everybody who needs cure. What is keeping it going to do for you? Hoarding it like a hoarder. You ever seen a hoarder? They have stuff just in case if they think they need it. Just in case you think you need it. So, what I'm trying to say here tonight is simply this, that knowledge is power, they say, but I say applied knowledge is power. So that's why when I talk about infinite banking concepts, doing IRA rollovers, like today I was talking to a client of mine, and we were trying to get information to do one for them, and the company was giving us the runaround. I actually sent them the forms and I put something wrong on it, so I have to correct it tonight. But the point I'm trying to make here is that the knowledge that you receive, you have to do something with it. You have to. I was making a post today, and I didn't post it because it was probably, some people may say it's too aggressive or too rude. And usually I don't care. I care what I post. My content sometimes can be very harsh, and the reason why it's not actually harsh, it's very truthful. I've noticed most people want you to be not truthful to them. They just want you to give them the good old attaboy, 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 pat on the back. But I'm not that guy. I'm the kind of guy who, I gotta tell you like it is. Now, you may not like it or like me when I tell you, but at least I was honest with you. You see, most people don't want truth. They don't. They say they do, but they don't. So if you bring something out and you tell someone and they get upset, the same thing of what I'm talking about here with the applied knowledge. There are people watching now, I can see them, who've done what I've told them to do. It's called applied knowledge. They applied the knowledge. When they learned, they made a considered effort and a decision. It was by themselves. They consulted with themselves and made an executive decision. Or if they're, have a spouse or family, they talked. They had a little powwow, and they realized this that we need to do to protect the family. And I can say this with great pride and conviction. Applied knowledge will bring you places or put you places where knowledge can't. And you're like, what are you saying, man? You're talking gibberish. Let me explain. I've had clients who've died. I've had I have a client right now, very nice client in a different state, who had a income protection bucket or income protection account. And I know for a fact it wasn't finances that was the issue. I've seen their checking account. I know how much money was in their retirement accounts. I know how much money they had in CDs. I know they have a house that's totally paid for. They have another house where their parents died that they own that's paid for as well. Their son died, left them a house. Now that house was given to the ex-wife, who wanted it. But guess what? This individual, not just because they have all these things and they did what I said. But I remember a few years ago, they called me and said, you know what, Terrence, I don't know if I want to keep this. And I have a situation like now, like that going on now. And it hurts me because I have to tell a client, nah, you do. And this is why. But if my why doesn't fit their why, it's in vain. Because if my why is convicted enough for people to bring it to a vote, I know that because my why was convicting enough to bring to a vote, is going to benefit. But guess what? A lot of people sit on knowledge. I don't. The reason why I do choose this with Terrence, I try to share with you all what I know. And do I get frustrated sometimes? Oh boy, do I get frustrated. Do I get angry sometimes? Yes, I get angry. You know, all the clients that I have who've made conscious decisions, to put something in place. I'm proud of them. And they've told people, some have referred people to me, and it's worked out. Some has not. All of those people, they applied the knowledge that they had. So I also have some clients who don't want to tell people about me. It's like they're selfish. They're like, nah, I don't want nobody. I want to keep you for myself. I'm like, listen, you, I got the good news. That good news have to be shared all over the continental United States, all 50 states. Some people don't have enough of what I offer. Some people don't have, I said don't have enough. Some people don't have. Some people have so much that they want to downsize some of it. And I've always told my clients, if affordability is not a problem, don't change. Don't minimize. Because a lot of the times my clients, life happens for them. They may have a child, they may get married, divorced, start another job, get laid off, all these different things. And, I told one of my clients the other day, it's incumbent on me to contact you annually. But I've told all my clients, any type of lifestyle change you have, you got to let me know. You adopt a child, you have a child. You adopt a child, you have a child. Everyone who has information that I've provided, I've always tell them to spread the good news. You have children, you want to cover them. You're married, you have a partner, you want to cover each other. Make sure there's something in place. Because life happens. Life happens, man. Life happens. Listen to me. Applied knowledge is one of the greatest things you can do for yourself. I was talking to someone today who said they're a procrastinator, just like I am. I'm a huge procrastinator as well. But I don't procrastinate if I have the resources. I could see someone don't have the resources or they have, but if I can show you how you're spending money unknowingly and unnecessarily and show you how to redirect it into efficient dollars, that's where the applied knowledge come. You have to take that knowledge and apply it. But sometimes a lot of us don't do that. We don't want to do that. You know, I'm thinking of someone right now. I've reached out to them multiple times, and it's like, I'm like, you want me to beg you? I'm not doing that. I've showed you why you need to do what you got to do. And sometimes the situation be under control. It might be they're in a predicament. It might be a spouse. It may be a child. It may be a friend. It may be themselves who's hindering the progress. But what I do know is when you apply knowledge, you're not just benefiting yourself, you're benefiting others around you. I've always used this scenario. If you found out some good news about they were giving out free cars, at Lexus, wouldn't you tell somebody the good news? So the knowledge that you have about if you've put something in place and you told somebody, you've done your job. You've told somebody, listen, Johnny, you need to contact Terrence or Havis or Mr. Badui or H or Little Boy because this is what he does. Your job is done. It's kind of on the spiritual tip, witness it. You go, you tell someone about the love of God, right? You study with them, that's catching the fish. It's not your job to clean the fish. That's the Holy Spirit in God. So same thing when you tell somebody about what it is that they need to do. You've instructed them. If they don't take action, because it's so funny, I've seen it. I've seen it so many times. People want to consult with their kids, their cousin, Pookie and them. And I'm like, your kids don't consult with you when they're making their decisions. So why you got to consult with them? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you don't have an accountability partner. But if you don't have something that you need, that you can afford, what are you consulting about? What are you consulting about? And people like to consult with family who don't know jack about what we do. They might be an expert in their field, but they don't know jack about this. And I was just talking to someone about this today. Stop going to people who don't know. For example, I know nothing about real estate. You buying a house, you don't call me. I don't know nothing about fixing cars. You got a brake issue, don't call me. Oh, I have people I can tell you who to call. But when it comes to financial literacy, you see, even in buying a house, you got to have good credit. You got to have enough for the down payment. They even have stuff about first-time home buyers. They may give you help with your closing costs or help with down. There's different government programs that they got out there, right? I don't know about them because it's not my specialty. My specialty is when those people buy a house, show them how to eliminate the debt of that mortgage quicker so they can put more money back into their pockets. And that is applied knowledge. One of my biggest pet peeve in my business is having to go back and forth with individuals, trying to convince them of why they should not do something or do something when I've already made it clear. And you're like, well, maybe they still don't understand. That's not what I think it is. The apprehension comes from, trust. I have clients today who've told me that they thought it was a scam what I was telling them about. And that's okay. I'm not mad at them. But what I do know is if you do what I told you to do, I keep talking about this one client that I have. This chick does everything I told her to do. When she lost her job, everything was in place. I didn't feel bad for her because she listened to me. We listen to all kinds of people on social media that we don't know for advice. relationship advice, um, spiritual advice, professional advice, therapeutic advice. Just because they're a movie star or well known, on the news, they work for ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, CNN, MSNBC. Oh, you read an article online. Oh, and you share it with people. But the knowledge of financial literacy, which are not taught in schools, it's not taught in elementary school, it's not taught in middle school, it's not taught in high school, and I know doggone well it's not taught in college. You can have a finance degree, you may know about different things about finance, but then you don't even understand that you need to put something in place at an early age. People say, "Oh yeah, I got money in the stock market and mutual funds and crypto and Bitcoin and I do real estate investing and I do all of that stuff." Great, but I got money in the bank. Even the bank, when you go in the bank, on the door it says FDIC. What does that FDIC stand for? It's right on the door. You probably never read it. Federal Depositors Insurance Corporation. Even the banks insure their money. They insure their loans because they don't trust y'all ninjas. Because they believe that you may not do it. They don't trust us. Now, your credit history is an indicator of your ability to repay. If you have good credit, it means that you pay your bills, you don't overspend, your utilization is low. You're a good candidate for them for a mortgage, a car loan, equity line of credit, all of those things. But what I do know is this, though. I do know this. If you're not applying the knowledge that you have in your personal life, it's kind of like, they say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, which is true. I'm not trying to lead you to water. I want you to know that water is a necessity. And because it's a necessity, you want to actually drink water. It's the same thing with knowledge. I am one of these guys who actually, my bark is bigger than my bite. I'm like, rah, 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 rah. Especially if you tick me off. But I'm very practical as well. You're like, what do you mean? I know if you have something in place. I know if you have something in place, I will not press you as much. Like even today, I was talking to a client, and we talked 2 weekends ago of something they wanted to do. We didn't do it last week. So we talked today, and I did the paperwork for them, but then it's going to take us, the company said it's going to take about 5 weeks. I'm like, what the, get out of here. So I got to write a conservation letter for, do not conserve for this client so that they can move their money. I want it in a safe place because the markets took a beating today, especially if you're in tech stocks. I have a friend who has almost all of their 401ks in tech stocks. So they were about $299 last week. I guarantee you right now, after today, they'll probably be in the 280s. But again, people say, man, it's a book loss. It's a book loss. True. So why you have to take book losses? There's no guarantee it's going to come back as fast as you want it to come back, especially if you're old enough. Right, look at this. It's at 290. They've lost almost 10,000. But it's a book loss. But guess what? Tomorrow it'll be 280 something because I just told you guys the Dow Jones was down 45.87. The NASDAQ was down almost 600 points, 579.56, and the S&P was down 107.33. So this person's 401k is going to probably go down to about 288, 285. It's okay. That's about $15,000 in about a week. But this person's like my age. I'll be 62 in October. They were 62 earlier this year. Why are you continuing to put stuff in places that cause you loss? Good evening, Cavell, and everybody else who's tuning into the show. I see this other people. Let me see on Instagram. There's some new people on there. The Barney Land join. Who else? Yo, Waystar. Hey, that's my little sis, my little chocolate sis, Stiff, Texas from Boston. Bardui Joan checked in. Welcome to her. Ethel's watching, and everybody else is watching on Instagram, and everybody else is watching tonight. You know, knowledge, they say, is power. I said, no, applied knowledge. When you learn something, apply. Like today, I turned off the camera on my on my Zoom and my StreamYard. And one of my colleagues, she's watching right now, Cavell Scott. She's helped me in the past. And it was so simple to fix it. But I had no clue. She had the knowledge. If she didn't share it with me, what good is it for me? It's the same thing with what we do. Folks, everybody who's watching my show right now can put $100 aside a month. I know you all can. A lot of you who watch it, I can see I have multiple clients watching right now, and they've done that. You can't do 100, do 50. Put something aside. Today, something to me. They said to me, one of the dangers of procrastination is this. It was very profound. I never looked at it that way. We were talking about, like, for me personally, every 2 years I have to do my continuing ed for my license. It's 24 hours of continuing ed credits I have to do every year. So from January, I keep getting the emails. Hey, come and do your continuing ed. Come and do your continuing ed. And I don't want to go to a class to do it because I can do it online for like 30 or 40 something bucks. But guess what? Every 2 years on October 31st, because my birthday is in October, and it has to be done by midnight, October 31st. Every day, October 31st, I shut everybody out. And I'm pounding my brain doing all the modules and the exams to pass for another 2 years. But someone told me something today, very profound. They said, what if on the 31st you fell sick and you can't do it? What then? And the simple answer was, my license would expire. I won't be able to practice, and I'll have to reapply and then pay fees because it's late fees. So what they said was, don't put yourself in that predicament. Do it quicker. Now, I wanted to argue with them like clients be arguing with me, but I said, you're making perfect sense. So sometime this summer, I don't know when, I'm going to take a day off. It's going to be a sabbatical day. Go somewhere. Don't talk to nobody for that day. Shut my phone off. You know, let family and friends know I'm fine. And then I'm going to start doing my continuing ed and finish it up. Do all my certifications that I need to do so I can help my clients. Folks, Applied knowledge. Applied knowledge is power, not knowledge. If you have knowledge for something you didn't share it with, it's just how is it powerful? Ain't nobody know. Nobody knows. So you got to apply. So when you learn about protecting your family for life with life insurance, not on your job that you're renting, that you will lose when you get out of work, and you should have done it when you were younger or still young, and it's every day that you wait, every year that you wait, it gets more expensive and the risk is higher because your health may not be the same. So that's why I wanted to talk about applied knowledge is power. Some of you have been watching me for years. I'm not call nobody out. I'm not here to call nobody out. My job is to educate, inform, pontificate, teach, show, all those things. I did an in-service rollover for a client last week, and I believe it could have been done a few years ago. I did something for a client today, it could have been done a couple of weeks ago. I did something for that same client last month, it could have been done 6 years ago. But sometimes people are just not ready. You can't force people to do anything. I don't force people. I educate and I make recommendations. Like there's two people right now that I'm thinking of, two different states. I've been reaching out to. I'm not frustrated with them, but I'm like, what you waiting for, yo? Let's get it done. When life happens, and it will, I'm a living example. When life happens, and it will, too late will be your cry. My mother used to say as a kid, don't let too late be your cry. So tonight, as we end the show, if you have a 401k somewhere, let me roll it over for you from an old job. If you're 59 and a half and you're watching this show and you have a 401k or 43B or 457 and TSP, let me show you how to protect it. You know what? Your income is not protected. Let me show you how to do that. Get on my calendar. You got debt? Let's eliminate that for you. And sometimes what happens with some clients is that they forget why we did what we did a few years back. I have to reiterate to them, this is what you said. This is why we did this. So you can't do that. But then again, they're the boss. And finally, a legacy. You have children, you have a spouse, a church, a sorority, a fraternity, an organization you want to leave something for. Do it now while you're younger and while it's less expensive. Every year that you wait, you're just making it more expensive on yourself. The show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H, some people call me Havis, some people call me Terrence, some people call me Mr. Bardui. Some people call me Little Boy from the 767 Whitey Kubuli, the Commonwealth of Dominica. You're from St. Luke's Parish, aka La Puente. You call me Luku Boy. Dominica made me. Boston raised me. Now the South sustains me. It gives me great joy to educate, to pontificate, to teach. Sometimes it looks like I'm angry and mad. I'm not. I'm just passionate. I want to see everybody in a good place. So tonight, say I'm going to contact him. You know how to get in touch with me. You see me on Instagram. You see me on Facebook. Some of you have my personal number. Some of you have WhatsApp. See me on TikTok, X, LinkedIn. Pick a venue. Pick a social media platform. And let's get it done.
Battery medium. Connected to virus alert scanner and iPhone 4.
As I play my theme song as we close, folks, Applied knowledge is power, not knowledge. If you know how to do hair and you don't do people's hair, how good is it? If you know how to cook well and you don't make dinners or do this or do that, what good is it? If you know how to do something well and you know how to, what skill do you have that you are good at and you don't apply it? What good is it? I have the knowledge on how to teach people how to protect their income, eliminate debt, and create legacies. And that's why I do Tuesdays with Terrence. February coming this year will be 7 years. I've been doing this every Tuesday at this time. I thank God. When I don't feel good, I do it. Some nights I don't feel like doing it. Like tonight, I don't feel like doing it. But you know why I come on? Because I care. I care. So as we close, you need to get on my calendar, DM me. Let's do it. Good night, everybody. God bless you. Peace.
Dominica made me, that's where it all began. Island breeze, coconut trees, the heart of my plan.
Bye-bye.
From the hills and the smiles to the songs of the sea, that island spirit molded the person I'd be. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way.
Yeah.
A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. On those snowy streets, learn to stand tall, navigating life, every rise, every fall. From the commons to the brownstones, I made my claim. With every lesson learned, I embrace my name. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. Now the South sustains me with its warm embrace, a community of strength and love in every space. From the bayous to the beaches, I found my place. In this journey of finance, I've learned to chase grace. Dominica made me, Boston raised me high. The South sustains my soul as I reach for the sky. With every sunrise, I'm thankful and free. A licensed financial pro, just being me.
Good night, everybody. God bless you. Here's the outro.
So here's to the roots that shaped who I am. From Dominica's beauty to Boston's Grand Slam. In the South I stand strong with purpose and pride. Together with my journey, side by side.
It's 8 o'clock. I got some paperwork to do. It's NBA draft. I'm gonna watch the draft, see who the Celtics draft. Shut this off. Shut this off. Shut this off. Sorry. See whoever the church actually, not the church, who the Celtics draft tonight. And Cavell, I want to thank you so much. My picture back on tonight. For all of you who tuned in, I thank you so much. There's something else you could have been doing on this Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but you spend some of your time with me. Again, like I said, let's go Cabo Verde, let's go Haiti, let's go Curacao, let's go all the teams, especially the teams of my clients. God bless you. Hasta la vista, babies. Kamem just simply means, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Boom. I'm out. Hasta la vista. Until next Tuesday, God bless you, okay? Peace. Peace.